Hey, what's up guys, it's HoodieManiac360, and today I'm going to be ranking all 9 Spider-Man movies, including No Way Home, from worst to best. Before I begin, I just want to say that I'm not including Venom 1 or 2, because 1, they're not Spider-Man movies, 2, I have not seen Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage, and 3, I did not like Venom 1. Also, the last time I reviewed all the Spider-Man movies, I did not include Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and that is because at the time I actually did not see it, but now I saw it, and now I'm going to properly rank all 9 Spider-Man movies from worst to best. So let's get this started. Alright, so coming in at number 9, I have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Last time I ranked the Spider-Man movies, I had The Amazing Spider-Man 2 at the bottom of my list. And, of course, nothing has changed. This is still a bad movie that has too many plots going on, too many villains, and one villain is only there for 2 scenes, and a poor attempt to make a Sinister Six movie that didn't even fucking happen. However, there are still some good stuff in this film, like the relationship between Peter and Gwen, the visuals, and some of the action was actually pretty good. But overall, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is still a bad movie. My final score for this film is a 3 out of 10. Coming in at number 8, I have Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, this one is kind of weird for me because back when it first came out, I actually really enjoyed it. But upon rewatch, it does not hold up too well. Don't get me wrong, I still like it, it's still a lot of fun, and it's a great setup for No Way Home. But most of the time, it doesn't make any sense at all. First of all, why is Peter all of a sudden interested in MJ when he thought she was weird in Homecoming? Second of all, when Peter is helping Mysterio fight the water monster in Italy, why is he using his web shooters when he doesn't have his suit on? He's out in public, and the whole world knows about Spider-Man and the Avengers. So what the fuck is Peter doing? Is he trying to get his identity revealed to the whole world? Oh wait. Third of all, Peter has a crush on MJ. Okay, so does another kid. Okay. The kid catches Peter with a grown woman with his pants down, and he wants to tell MJ. Peter still could have locked the door, but whatever. While they're on a bus, Peter tells his ether glasses that he's a target, and it accidentally sets a drone to kill the kid. Okay, now, you're probably thinking that he's gonna tell the glasses to cancel the drone strike, right? He does not. Instead, he gets out of the bus and destroys the drone with his web. He could have just canceled the drone strike, but he didn't. And finally, why did he give the ether glasses to Mysterio? He could have just given them to Nick Fury, but he just gives them to Mysterio, granting him access to it. Also, when Peter gets the glasses back, wouldn't Mysterio have to grant the access back to Peter? I swear, this movie has so many problems, and there are a lot more problems that I'm going to address one day when I actually revisit Spider-Man Far From Home and properly review it. Not like how I did a couple years ago, but like one of these. But, hey, I still enjoy it. It's still a fun film. My final score for it is a 6.5 out of 10. Coming in at number 7, I have The Amazing Spider-Man 1. Now, the last time I ranked the Spider-Man movies, I called The Amazing Spider-Man 1 an average superhero movie. But after watching it again, I realized that it's actually pretty good. Sure, it tells the same story as Spider-Man 1, and also Uncle Ben's death was handled poorly, but I really liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I also liked his relationship with Gwen Stacy, I liked the action, and some of the other characters were pretty good. Overall, The Amazing Spider-Man 1 is a good movie, and my final score for it is a 7 out of 10. Coming in at number 6, I have Spider-Man 3. So, I talked about Spider-Man 3 plenty of times on this channel. I always said that it's a good movie, but it has its problems, like Harry's amnesia, Gwen Stacy, Harry's butler telling Harry what happened to his father too late, and Sandman killing Uncle Ben. However, there are still a lot of good stuff in this film, like the action, the birth of Sandman, Harry's redemption and death, and of course, Emo Peter. Overall, Spider-Man 3 is not a perfect film, but hey, I still enjoy it. My final score for the film is a 7.5 out of 10. Coming in at number 5, I have Spider-Man Homecoming. This film was a surprise. I thought that it was going to be really stupid, but I actually ended up really enjoying this one. I really liked Peter being in high school. I liked his friend Ned. And I liked that he wanted to be an Avenger. And I also liked the Vulture, especially that one scene when they were in the car and Vulture was threatening Peter. There are a few nitpicks that I have in this film, like the way the suit looks, because good God, that looks awful. The final battle was also pretty weak. Peter's girlfriend was kind of lame. And there's also this one scene where Peter gets his Spider-Man suit and equipment from under a row of lockers at school. What the hell? Someone could easily come in the hallway at any time. There are cameras everywhere, and he could have easily been caught. But yeah, aside from that, Spider-Man Homecoming was pretty enjoyable, and I definitely recommend it if you are a Spider-Man fan. My final score for this film is an 8 out of 10. Coming in at number 4, I have Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I just reviewed this film, so I won't talk about it too much. Spider-Man No Way Home was frigging epic. Everyone was great. Green Goblin was great, Dr. Octopus was great, Electro was great, MJ was great, Aunt May was great, Tom Holland's Spider-Man was great, and of course, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were also great. And the film ends in a very emotional yet satisfying way, and I can't wait for the future of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And also, there's rumors of The Amazing Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire, which I fucking hope is true. I do have a couple of complaints, but I already talked about it in my review, so you can go ahead and watch that. Link is in the description. And my final score for the film is the same as last time, which was an 8.5 out of 10. Coming in at number 3, I have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Okay, so I didn't include this one in my last ranking a couple of years ago, and I also never reviewed it. That's because, at the time, I actually never watched it, like I said before. But I finally watched it over a year ago, and I gotta say, the film was actually pretty amazing. I liked Miles Morales, Peter B. Parker, Gwen Stacy, and all the other Spider-Men. The story of Peter B. Parker teaching Miles how to be Spider-Man was also awesome. It was a lot better than Luke Skywalker teaching Rey in Star Wars The Last Jedi, that is for sure. One day I'll definitely revisit this film and properly review it. But for now, I think it's one of the better Spider-Man movies, and my final score is a 9 out of 10. Coming in at number 2, I have Spider-Man 2. Now, a lot of people have Spider-Man 2 at number 1, and that's fine. Spider-Man 2 is great. But there are 2 reasons why it's not number 1 for me personally. First reason is that there's a scene in the film where some guy is getting robbed and beaten up. Peter notices it and does nothing about it. I mean, I get that he lost his powers and temporarily quit being Spider-Man, but he still could have helped that guy by beating up the robbers or at least calling the cops. He saved a kid from a burning building, so why not help this poor guy? My second reason is that I also just enjoy Spider-Man 1 just a tiny bit more. But anyways, aside from that one scene, Spider-Man 2 is absolutely amazing. Peter has an amazing arc where he questions if he's supposed to be Spider-Man, quits for a little bit, and then decides, you know what, fuck it, the city needs me. Also, Dr. Octopus is a great villain with a great redemption. And also, Harry finding out that Peter is Spider-Man is suspenseful, and it leaves you wondering what happens next. Then along came Spider-Man 3. And to top it all off, we also have the memes. My final score for Spider-Man 2 is a 9.5 out of 10. I dropped it just a little bit since my review because of that one scene that I mentioned earlier. And finally, coming in at number 1, I have Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man 1 is the perfect superhero movie in my opinion. Peter Parker was so goddamn relatable, and you really felt sorry for him when Uncle Ben died, unlike The Amazing Spider-Man. It was also a lot of fun seeing him practice using his organic web shooters and falling on the first swing. But then he gets a lot better. And let's not forget Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. If you watched No Way Home and loved Green Goblin but did not watch Spider-Man 1, please watch Spider-Man 1. He was fucking perfect in Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man 1 is also my favorite movie of all time because it has an amazing story, an amazing main character, the other characters are amazing, villain is perfect, and the whole movie is just a must-watch. My final score for this film is obviously a 10 out of 10. Alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you want me to review in the future. Subscribe to my other channels, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next video where I'll be ranking every movie that came out in 2021 that I saw in theaters from worst to best. It's not like last year where I only saw Birds of Prey and the Sonic movie. I actually saw quite a few movies this year. So stick around for that, and I'll see you guys next time. And Happy New Year.